Hey Year 3 and welcome to this video, which is for Thursday the 25th of February. Here is your Fluent in 5 for today. Oh, hang on, no it's not. Here's a reminder of the web pages you might want to use to help you with the fraction work and with the Fluent in 5 addition and subtraction problems. Actually some of the multiplication and division as well. Here is your Fluent in 5 for the day. Please pause the video and complete it if you have not already. So there's a couple of missing number ones here, so let's go through it and see if we can work out the answers. So if you have something times 10 is 90, that means something groups of 10 is 90. Now I don't know because it was something groups of 10 equals 90 because I don't know how many groups I've got. I make groups of 10 until I've used all 90, and that will tell me how many groups of 10 I had. So I made a group of 10, made another group of 10 for 20, another group of 10 for 30, all the way up until I had 90, and then I looked, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 10. So that told me that 9 was the missing number. Then here we've got 212 divided by 4. Now normally I get you to partition into 200, 10 and 2, but the tricky thing with that is you can't divide 2 by 4. So what I've done is I've partitioned it into 212. I've put my 10s and 1s together. I then did 12 divided by 4, which is 3, and 200 divided by 4 is 50. Now I know that because 200 divided by 2 is 100, divided by 2 again is 50, or 20 divided by 4 is 5. So now I know that if I divide my 200 by 4, it's 50, and if I divide my 12 by 4, it's 3. I can just put those together. So I know the answer is 53. Then here we have our total, take away one part equals what? So 804, take away 255. So 4 take away 5. Can't do it. Really hope none of you turned it around. Now, normally you'd go over and you'd borrow and regroup a 10. But there is no 10 for you to regroup. So you have to go all the way to the hundreds first. Your 800s becomes 700s, and your 100 goes into your 10s. Now, if you've got 100, you've also got 10 10s. Now, you still can't do 4 take away 5, but now you have got 10s to regroup. So now I take 10, so I've only got 9 left, and I put my 10 into my 1s. And if I add 110, into the 4 ones I've already got, I've got 14 ones. Now I can do that. 14 take away 5 is 9. 9 take away 5 is 4. And 7 take away 2 is 5. Lastly, I had another one similar to up here. I have an unknown group of 5. So something groups of 5 equals 35. Now here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. So that tells me the missing number was 7. 7 groups of 5 makes 35. So well done if you got those right. So let's look at today's learning. Today we're looking at comparing and ordering fractions. Now today is questions for you to answer, but it's a lot more of a mix of some that have matching numerators and some that have matching denominators. Now I'm going to try and explain it all again, but my video on, I think it was Tuesday, was 2 parts because it was quite long with me explaining all of this, so it may be worth watching that again if you're struggling. So I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at answering these questions, and then I will go through them. So we've got 2 different fractions here, and we need to circle the greatest. Now they both have the same numerator, which means in each fraction we have 1 part. This fraction, the amount has been split into 3 equal parts, and this one has been split into 4 equal parts. Now look, they're both the same size because it's a whole. If I break into 3 parts, I get a bigger piece than if I break into 4 parts. So I know the greatest fraction is 1/3 because I've cut my whole into less pieces. Which of these is greater? Now again, I've got 1 slice of each, I've got 1 part of each. This one's been broken into 4 parts. This one's been broken into 6 parts. So this one has been broken into less parts. So each part is greater. And if you look here, you can see that that part is greater than that part. Then the next one. Now here I've got 1/5 and 1/6. Again, my numerator is 1, so I've got 1 part of each. This one has been broken into 5 parts. This has been broken into 6. So my cake here has been cut to share with 6 people. My cake here has been cut to share with 5 people. So who would get a bigger slice if you're sharing with 6 people or if you're sharing with 5 people? Well, the people you're sharing when there's only 5 of you would each get a bigger bit. So the smaller fraction is 1/6. Which of these is smaller? Again, if you think of it without the pictures, you're getting 1 part of each. But this one has been broken into 8 different parts. This has been broken into 6. So which one is going to be smaller? Well, your 1/8 is going to be smaller because you've cut it into more pieces. And again, you can see that from the picture. So now we're going to have a look at when there's no pictures, but of course you could still use your own pictures. Just be really careful that when you're drawing it, that your parts are equal and also that your 2 bars are the same length, because if they're different sizes, then your parts are going to look different anyway. So 1/10 and 1/8, which one is greater? Well, we've only got 1 part of each, but this one has been broken into 10 pieces and this one has been broken into 8 pieces. Now, if they were both the same cake, and I cut one into 8 pieces and one into 10 pieces, which one would give me a bigger slice? Well, the less people you are cutting your cake between, the bigger your piece of cake. So 1/8 is the greatest. Then we've got 1/5 and 1/7. Again, we've only got 1 part of each, but this whole has been split into 5 pieces, and this one has been split into 7 pieces. So which one gives you a greater piece? Well, my 1/5 is going to be greater because it's been cut into less pieces. Then the smaller fraction, we've got we've got 1/2 and 1/5. We've only got 1 part of each. This one's been cut into 2 pieces. This one's been cut into 5. So this is smaller because I've cut it into more pieces. So my pieces are getting smaller. Over here, again, we've only got 1 piece of each. Which one is which? Well, which one is smaller? Well, this cake's been cut into 9 pieces. This cake's only been cut into 6. So that means this is the smaller fraction. Now, an extension, if you're getting through the tasks quite quickly and you need a little bit more work, then I'd like you to draw representations for each of these and have a go at explaining how you know that that fraction is smaller than that fraction. Practice your reasoning skills. So, Hardeep is given sets of fractions. Help him arrange them in order. So here are your fractions, 1/6, 1/4 and 1/5. And you need to order them from greatest to smallest, from smallest to greatest, and from greatest to smallest. So, these fractions ordered here from greatest to smallest, these fractions ordered here from smallest to greatest, and these fractions ordered here from greatest to smallest. So think about cake. It's always good to think about cake. Think about cake, how many pieces you're cutting it up into and how many pieces you have, and see if you can use that to help you. This one, colour it in and see if you can use that information to help you answer that one. So if you haven't had a go, pause the video and have a go because I'm going to go through it. So this one, we've got 1/6, 1/4 and 1/5. Now we've got 1 part of each. So all our numerators match. We've got 1 of each part. This one's been cut into 6 pieces. This one's been cut into 4 and this has been cut into 5. Now this has been cut into the least amount of pieces, so my pieces are going to be the biggest. So it goes 1/4, 1/5 and then 1/6. So well done if you got that right. Again here, they've been cut into 1 part. They haven't been cut into 1 part. They've been cut into different amounts of parts, but we've got 1 part of each. This one's been cut into 12, this one's been cut into 7, and this one's been cut into 8. So which one is the smallest? Well, this one has been cut into the most parts, so it is the smallest fraction. Then it's 1/8, and then it is 1/7. So brilliant if you got that right. Just remember to pay really close attention to whether you're going from smallest or greatest first of all. Then we've got 1/5, 1/9 and 1/11. You've got to begin with the greatest. We've got 1 part of each. So which one gives us the bigger piece? our whole has been cut into 5, our whole has been cut into 9, and our whole has been cut into 11. So which part is the greatest? 1/5 is the biggest because it's been cut into the least amount of pieces. Then it would be a 9th, and then it would be an 11th. Then question 14, so it asks us to colour in the amounts. There's 10 pieces here, so I needed to colour in 3 of them because I am looking at 3 out of 10. Then this one wanted 9 of them. So I've coloured in 9 out of my 10 parts, and this one was 7. So which one is greater than which? So I can see straight away that 7/10 is greater than 3/10. Your answers might be slightly different as long as you're still picking the bigger one going here. Then which one is smaller than another? So I know that 3/10 is smaller than 7/10. Or you could not have the reverse of this one up here, and you could say that you know that 7/10 is smaller than 9/10. So which fraction is greatest? Well, the greatest fraction is 9/10 because you have all 9 out of 10 pieces. And which one is the smallest? Well, having just 3 out of your 10 pieces is the smallest. Well done if you got that right. Then question 15 asks us to colour the strips to show the fractions. So this time we've got the same numerator. We've only got one part, but you've got different denominators. So you need to colour that in and complete the number sentence. And then this says, I know that 1/3 is larger than a half because 3 is larger than 2. Do you agree with her? Explain how you know. So let's do the answers. If we have 1/3, we have 1 out of our 3 parts. If we have a 9th, we have 1 out of 9 parts. And if we have a 7th, we have 1 out of 7. Now I can see that 1/7 is greater than 1/9 because it is. I've cut it into 7 pieces instead of 9. I know that 1/7 is smaller than 1/3. Which is my greatest fraction? Well, my 1/3 is my greatest fraction. And which is my smallest? 1/9 is my smallest fraction. Then, do you agree with Dora? No. No, Dora's wrong. She's misunderstood. She's just thought that 3, well, she's right, as in 3 is a bigger number than 2, but it doesn't work like that in fractions. If we draw 2 of the same shape, now if we're doing the 1/3, we are cutting it into 3 equal pieces and looking at one of them. And if we are looking at our half, we are only cutting it into 2 equal pieces. So we can see straight away that the smaller our denominator, the less parts we are cutting our whole into, and therefore the bigger the part. So sorry, Dora, you were wrong. Now these are just some additional activities, so if you'd like a little bit extra, they're not compulsory. You need to add, I'm not even going to tell you what they stand for, I want you to have a think. You need to add these symbols in between the fractions to have a go at comparing them. Then there is another additional activity. So you have to read the word problem and have a go at explaining it and solving it and even drawing pictures to support your explanation. And then the answers to those. I haven't included because you've really got to think about it. So if you don't want to have a go at those, but you want to do a little bit more, remember you can log on to Times Table Rockstars and have a practice. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.